Hey guys, welcome back to Team Death Slinger. My name is Peter, and today we're looking at kind of a Wideboard MedievalGallantmon kind of Vortex Warrior deck. We are not going necessarily primarily Zephagamon with MedievalGallantmon. We are focusing on MedievalGallantmon, and we're going to try and go wide with it to take advantage of its effects when you play a Digimon buy-in effect. So, starting with our eggs, we have 4 copies of the EX7 Fluffymon. When this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle, gain 1 memory. Just a great way for us to get value with those Vortex swings. 4 copies of the EX7 Pteromon. When this Digimon would digivolve into a card with Avian or Bird in its trace, reduce the cost by 1. And then the same inheritable that gains you a memory. Fantastic for helping you get up the line cheaply and efficiently. 4 copies of the ST18 Pteromon. On play reveal top 3, add a card with Avian or Bird, and 1 card with Vortex Warriors or Liberator among them to the hand. Return the rest to bottom deck. This helps you grab your MedievalGallantmons in any of the Pteromon line, which is really great. And then this has a your turn 2k DP buff. That's also huge because we want to make sure that we can actually swing into things with the Vortex and get over them. Lastly, 4 copies of the ST18 Muchomon. All turns when effects suspend this Digimon, one of your Digimon with Avian or Bird in any of its traits, or the Vortex Warrior trait gets 3k DP until the end of your opponent's turn, and a Piercing Inheritable. Both the Piercing Inheritable and the 3k DP buff are really fantastic for this deck. Again, the Vortex is crucial. We want to be able to swing over things with that DP buff, and the Piercing is just going to be icing on the cake if we get it. For our level 4s, we have 4 copies of EX7-Galemon. When digivolving, if you have 1 or fewer tamers, you may play a Shoto Kazama from your hand without paying the cost, so that's just free value, and then this will gain you a memory when you delete an opponent's Digimon in battle. Then we have 2 copies of the Kokatorimon from ST18. This has blocker and a piercing inheritable. The reason we are running this is because we have ways to play level 4s, so we want to make sure that we can get some blockers on the board. It is a free defender, and there's nothing to complain about with that. It also has Bird in this trait, so that sometimes matters. 4 copies of ST18 Galemon. Security, you can play a card with the Liberator trait and a play cost 4 or less from your hand or trash without paying the cost. So this basically just hits your Shotos and your rookies with the Liberator trait. And it has Vortex, so you can get some cheeky Vortex swings in with this. And then your turn, this Digimon gains 2k DP. For our level 5s, I'm opting for 4 copies of the ST18 GrandGalemon. On play, when digivolving, suspend 1 Digimon. If this effect suspended your Digimon, you play a Digimon card with Avian or Bird in its traits and 3k DP or less from your hand without paying the cost. So that's going to get us a free rookie on the board. And then this has an unsuspended inheritable. When this Digimon attacks an opponent's Digimon, you get to unsuspend, which paired with our Vortex is going to let us get some aggro in. Then we have 3 copies of ST17 Rapidmon. On play, when digivolving, de-digivolve 1 on one of your opponent's Digimon. Then if you have a green tamer until the end of your opponent's turn, they can't delete this Digimon or return it to the hand or deck. So it's just some really wide protection coverage there. The de-digivolve effect is really strong. It's going to hit just about anything on the board and kind of slow down your opponent. And the inheritable is super awesome. When this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle, trash the top card of their security. That's going to pair super nicely with the Vortex. This is a 4-cost evo, but we're going to run scrambles to make sure that we can get into this cheaply when we do see it. For our level 6s, kind of out of order, we have 1 copy of the EX7 Zephagamon, has security attack +1, and Vortex. The security effect is security attack bonus is really great in this deck. And then when digivolving, when attacking, suspend 1 Digimon. If this effect suspended your Digimon, return an opponent's suspended Digimon to the bottom of the deck. What I really like this for is its bounce effect. If you need to get around something that you just can't quite swing over, this is a good way to get it taken care of. For 4 copies of MedievalGallantmon, this is the new secret rare from EX8. You can play this card by suspending 2 Digimon, reduce the play cost by 4. So you can either hard play it for 7 from the hand, or if this would be played by any other effect, you can suspend 2 Digimon to reduce the cost further. It has Alliance and Vortex, so Alliance is kind of why we care about playing extra bodies. We're going to try and make this man big and swing in with that Vortex. When digivolving, you can suspend 1 Digimon, then you may delete one of your opponent's 8k or lower Digimon. For each other suspended Digimon, add 3k to this DP deletion effect's maximum. So we're hoping to hit an 11k body with this off rip, and then if there are more Digimon on board and we have our own Digimon suspended on board, we can start deleting bigger Digimon. All turns once per turn when Digimon are played, you may activate one of this Digimon's when digivolving effects, which is going to be clutch because we have ways to play out more bodies with our other Digimon. So if this body sticks on the board and we start getting to go wide, we're going to start triggering that effect, hopefully at least once per turn on our turn, and maybe the opponent will trigger it as well. We're going to try and keep our opponent's Digimon suspended, and we're going to be trying to pop things as we enter the board. We can also use Alliance to make sure that our things get suspended, and then with the unsuspend effect, we can align second time, keep things suspended down on our board, and it just becomes kind of overwhelming to deal with as you continue to build your board up. For that reason, we are running 2 copies of the EX6 Cherubimon Ace. It has Alliance, Blast Digivolve, and on play, when digivolving, you play a green or yellow level 4 or lower Digimon from your hand without paying the cost. Then until the end of your opponent's turn, one of their Digimon gets minus 4k for each of your other Digimon, which is kind of really fantastic. You can play out the blocker with this effect. You can give up to minus about 8k would be normal with the way this deck plays. But then with the DP reduction effect paired with this deletion effect, once you have played the Digimon and resolved the DP reduction effect, you then can trigger this all turns effect and hit the when Digivolving effect to pop something with its DP reduced. So that's pretty sick. I like that combo quite a bit. I'm running one copy of Chaosmon Valdur Arm. This is just a flavor pick, to be entirely honest with you. I know it costs 6 to Evo, but with the Digimon Liberator effect, we can actually find a piece if this is on our hand and then Evo into this for reduced cost. When Digivolving, you activate the following effect twice, give minus 7k for the turn. That, despite how silly this sounds, it gets around Blastaces really well, and sometimes my opponents struggle to answer this because I'm doling out minus 14k, which always pops their level 6 Blastaces on board. Most things don't have protection from DP reduction, and then on deletion this gains 3 memory, so if the opponent tries to deal with it and do something, they're going to have to hand you memory to deal with it. So I really like that about this card, and it's just kind of a fun one of. We have 2 copies of Green Scramble. If one of your green Digimon may Digivolve into a green Digimon card in the hand with the cost reduced by 3, then place this in the battle area. Start of your turn, if your opponent has a Digimon delay, return a green Digimon from trash to top of the deck. Then if you don't have a Digimon, you play one with 2k or less from trash without paying the cost. Security effect is the same, so this gets you a rookie back and puts you back in the game. 4 copies of Agility Training, just our mandatory green search package. 3 copies of Vortex Resonance. While you have a Digimon or Tamer with the Liberator trait, you may ignore this card's color requirements. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 with the Liberator trait among them to the hand. The rest go bottom, and then one of your Digimon may Digivolve into a card in the hand with the cost reduced by 4. So if Chaosmon is in our hand and we play this card, we are basically paying 5 to Evo into it instead of 6. I know it's just 1 cost savings, but sometimes it matters. Security effect also lets you play a card with Liberator and a play cost 4 or less from your hand or trash without paying the cost, and then this comes to hand. So it's just a great card to have all around. It's better than running a green memory boost in this deck. 3 copies of EX7 Shoto Kazama. Start of your main phase, if your opponent has a Digimon, you gain 1 memory, and then end of turn by suspending this tamer, one of your Digimon gains piercing and blocker until the end of your opponent's turn. If it has the Vortex Warriors trait, it unsuspends, so it's a great way to unsuspend your MedievalGallantmon after you swing in with those Vortex checks, and then you get piercing blocker. 2 copies of Shoto Kazama from ST18. Start of your turn, if you have 2 or less memory, set it to 3, and then your turn, when any of your Digimon attacks your opponent's Digimon by suspending this tamer, you can change the attack target to another of your opponent's Digimon or a player. So if you're vortexing into an opponent's Digimon, you can switch the target to an opponent player and get some free damage. And that way, if you don't have the piercing inheritable, that might be better for you to do instead of swinging into their Digimon. You can also do some cheeky stuff where you play a Vortex Digimon to pass the turn, because Vortex technically gives the Digimon rush. You'd be swinging into the opponent's suspended Digimon, but you can tap the Shoto to redirect to a player, and you can steal games that way, which is really, really clutch. So that is what I have for this MedievalGallantmon kind of wideboard strategy. I wanted to make a deck that focused around MedievalGallantmon because I know he's a really strong card that's going to see play in a lot of decks, but he's going to be splashed in as a tech card in lots of these decks. So I wanted to make something that focused primarily on him and play to his strength. So that's what I have for you. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Thank you to our YouTube members for supporting this channel. It's people like Langlong, Big Z11, and Coffee Deus who make videos like this possible.